Namaste witches, welcome back to the mat and welcome to today's brand new flow. It is the big one, witches. Today we are flowing to celebrate and to honour Samhain, also known as Halloween. So today we are experiencing the veil at its thinnest between the earthly realm and the spiritual realm. We are officially into the darker season and we are officially into the season of death. Now, I don't mean this necessarily in a really scary way, but just in the sense of that everything around us is dying. The physical world, the flowers, the trees, and spiritually and emotionally within ourselves. It is a time to release anything that no longer serves us and to concentrate on the things that we'd like to welcome in the springtime months. This dark side of the wheel during these kind of autumnal and winter months remind us and teach us not to be afraid of the darkness. So when we take time to listen to the darkness, to stare into it, then we are able to kind of discover what we need to release, what we need to welcome in, and the path ahead of us. So in today's practice, we are going to work through a really gorgeous restorative yin yoga practice, so really embracing the yin energy of the wheel, and we're also going to be working through some journaling sessions. So on the screen throughout the practice will be 5 journal prompts that will pop up. Now you can write these during your practice, you can come back to them at the end of the practice. They are written in the description box below, but this is your time to really listen to the darkness, listen to yourself, so we know what we need to let go and what we need to release in order to help us evolve, to help us grow, and to help us glow. So for today's practice, you don't necessarily need any props, but you're welcome to find any blocks, any bolsters. And the only thing I'm going to ask you to light in terms of witchiness is a candle. So as we are in an incredibly dark day today, you know, with the weather and kind of spiritually that veils at the thinnest, we want to keep a light on just so we can find our path ahead and we can kind of keep that glow during the darkness. So lighting your candle, getting yourself comfortable. And from here, I'm going to light my sage. So you're welcome to light any cleansing one that you work with, any incense. If not, as always, do not worry. I'm sending this cleansing smoke all the way from my mat to yours. So cleansing the energies around us. As it is the season of death, we are celebrating Halloween, we are celebrating Samhain today. We want to ensure that our space is cleansed and our space is protected. So as you sit here comfortably, hands flipped down to the knees, I would like you to start to visualize a beautiful golden circle around you, maybe around your physical body, maybe around your mat. This beautiful circle of protection is keeping us safe during the darker months. Keeping our mind, our peace, our spiritual body, our physical body. Immediately putting up that circle and feeling a sense of peace come over us from the crown of the head to the tops of the toes. Breath lovely and balanced. Inhales with our exhales, feeling connected to our spiritual journey, feeling connected to this online coven, this beautiful community around us. For all together we inhale and we exhale. Gently Blinking the eyes open. We're going to start to stretch out the lower body, so you can choose to keep the legs crossed like mine, or you can lean back, and we're going to move to shoelace pose. So we're going to lift the right leg on top of the left, wiggle the legs so one knee stacks up on top of the other, and find length through the crown of the head. From here we inhale, exhale, left hand floats beside us, pull the right arm up and overhead. Remembering you can do this with the ankles crossed. Inhale, we roll through center. Exhale, right hand floats beside us. Pull left arm up and overhead. Inhale, roll back into the center. On your exhale, begin to forward fold. So starting to connect with the sacral and the root chakra here. The chakras of inspiration, the chakras of grounding. Giving yourselves 10 breaths here in shoelace pose. If those ankles are crossed, simply forward fold. Beautiful. Before we inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, which is roll the body up, send the hands behind the back, and from here we're simply going to untangle the legs. So if those ankles are crossed, you're going to switch sides. If you're in shoelace, lean back, untangle the legs, and this time left leg floats on top of the right. We take the side body stretches, left hand floats beside us, pull the right arm up and overhead, taking a gorgeous little lean. Inhale, roll through center. Exhale, right hand floats beside you. Pull left arm up and overhead. Inhale, roll back into the center. 10 breaths, stretching out those hip flexors. Forward fold in shoelace. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out. Maybe recognizing if one side of this stretch feels like it has a little more space to play with than the other. That is completely normal. Just concentrate here on breathing in through the nose and breathing out. On your inhale, lift the gaze. Exhale, roll the body up. From here, we're going to lean back, untangle the legs, and wherever you are, we're going to bring the bottom of the feet to touch, move to sit onto the sit bones, and we move to Baddha Konasana pose. So sliding the heels a little bit closer to us, pivot from the hips and begin to forward fold. So you remember, you're welcome to sit on anything if it feels a little bit uncomfortable to you, support the knees. But we're going to move into Baddha Konasana, and we're going to move into our first journal prompt. So the journal prompt is going to come onto the screen now, and you can take the time now to answer it or come back to it at the end of your practice. The choice is yours. But giving ourselves 1 minute here in our Baddha Konasana. Answer the questions, open and explore your body's boundaries, and dedicate a little bit of time to you and to your well-being. Ten more breaths. Remembering, if you need longer in this pose or you need longer to answer your questions, you are more than welcome to press pause. Inhale, witches, we lift the gaze. Beautiful. Exhale, lovely and slow. We begin to roll the body up, lean back, taking the hands behind the back, and we begin to flip the feet to the mat. Start to take some windscreen wiper movements with those knees, moving from one side to another. Remembering, if you need longer on your journal prompt, press pause here. There's no rush. If you would like to keep flowing with me, lean back, cross the ankles, roll over the knees, and come to meet me in a tabletop position. As always, adjust your leggings. And from here, we're going to start to make some slow movements. So walk the hands a centimetre or two forwards. On your inhale, we roll body forward, drop the hips, and come to meet me in upward facing dog, creating length through the crown of the head. Exhale, bend into the knees, tuck toes under, hips to heels. Inhale, roll body forward, hips to heels, come meet me in upward facing dog. And exhale to send it all the way back. Take this movement once more. Before the next time you begin to roll into upward facing dog, you're going to immediately drop the forearms to the mat, extend the legs behind you, point the toes to the back corners of your mat, and come to meet me in Sphinx pose. So not dropping our weight to the shoulders, we roll and find a back bend here, pulling the hips to the earth and connect with that heart chakra. Second journal prompt is going to pop up onto the screen now. Choose to answer it here, choose to answer it in a little bit. But close the eyes if you're choosing to answer it later, or maybe stare at the candle in front of you. Allow it to light your way in the darkness. So we do have to embrace the kind of fear of darkness, as personally I am pretty afraid of the darkness, both emotionally and physically. But the times where I get my true inspiration and the times where I've really kind of unlocked any past trauma is when I've allowed myself to listen and to stare into the darkness. So give yourself time here. Journal prompt 2. One more minute. Be as honest as you can with your journal prompt. Be as aware as possible with your pose. 5 more breaths. Before all together, we inhale and we exhale. On your next breath, you're going to slide one hand on top of the other, press palms to the mat as you lift the elbows up and come to lie down, immediately bringing big toes to touch, heels fall to one side, and meet me in crocodile pose. transitioning briefly into a twist. You're going to start to bend left knee so it comes into alignment with the hip. Send right hand over to the right hand side. Pull the left arm behind you and come to meet me in a gorgeous twist here. Fun little transition. Finding length through the fingertips here, like a tug of war going on between the upper body and the lower body. Inhale. Beautiful. On your exhale, use that left hand to roll back through center. Extend left leg to meet the right. From here, we bend right knee into alignment with the right hip. Left hand wiggles over to the right hand side. Pull the right arm behind you and meet me back in your twist. Inhale. Beautiful. Using that right hand to roll the body back through center. Extend right leg to meet left. Roll onto the chest. Hands next to the chest. Inhale. Find length through the crown of the head. Upward facing dog. Glancing back to one foot. Move through center. Glance to the other. From here, we bend the knees. Briefly send hips to heels. And then roll body back up, slide right knee to right wrist. We're going to meet in pigeon pose. So wiggle that right foot as far over to the left hand side of your mat as you can go. Remembering you can use a block or a pillow to support that right hip as you begin to lower down. So staying here for about 2 minutes on either side. And then when you're ready, the third journal prompt is going to come on to the screen. Take your time, answer it now, answer it later. But gaze into the darkness and listen. 2 minutes here. This is an incredibly intense stretch, so keep breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. One more minute, witches. All together, we inhale. If you need longer on your pose, in your journal prompt, then press pause here. If you are in pigeon and you're ready to come out, we move gently by first moving on to the hands. Inhale to find a little space in the heart. Exhale, plant the hands down, tuck left toes under, and we're going to slide the right leg all the way out, pressing that right heel away from you. Taking any wiggles that feels good to you. And before we relax right knee by left, slide left knee to the left hand side, wiggle the foot across, roll back, and then we make our way in to our pigeon pose to the other side. To move on to the forearms, relax down. The fourth journal prompt is going to pop up onto the screen now, so take your time to answer it, being as honest and as raw and as truthful as possible. Pop in a block under that left hip if you find yourself falling to one side. 2 minutes. Breathing in through the nose and out. 10 more breaths. All together, we inhale. And we exhale. If you need longer, press pause here. If you're ready to lift the body out, then gently press into the hands, lift that heart up. First, we find a mini back bend as we inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat, tuck right toes under. We slide the left leg all the way out and take our wiggles. So taking any wiggles that feels good to you. Before relaxing, left knee by right, swing the legs all the way forwards, and from here, best transition of them all, we slide hips to heels, roll the body back to the mat and simply hug the knees to the chest. Finding stillness here, flattening the spine against the mat. Inhale. On your exhale, stretch the arms out. Stretch out the legs, giving yourself a beautiful full body wiggle here. Point the fingers, point the toes. And then relax the arms down by your side, sliding the heels to the edges of your mat and begin to take up your space. Coming into the space of your mat, the space of your body with a beautiful deep breath in through the nose. And a slow breath all the way out. Gently allowing exhales to become longer than your inhales. Sinking the body deeper and deeper into the mat beneath you. Eyes closed, embracing the darkness. Listening to the sound of my voice, the sound of the music around you. No longer afraid of the darkness, but instead listening to what the darkness is telling us, what we need to release, to let die so we can evolve and grow and flourish. And here the final intention is going to come onto the screen. Maybe you glance at it and answer it in your head. Maybe you answer it in a little bit. Maybe you roll to one side and write your answer down. The choice is yours, witches. And as always, if you need longer, I invite you to stay here. If you're ready to come out with me, you're going to take a beautiful deep breath in, bringing yourself back into the physical body, holding at the top. And then with 4, sighing all the way out. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Starting to make movements with the fingers, the toes, before reaching the arms up and overhead for one final full body stretch, feeling nourished, feeling reconnected and rebalanced. From here, we bend the knees to the chest and allow ourselves to roll to one side of the mat. Taking our time, keeping the eyes closed as we lift the body into a comfortable seated position, rolling shoulders away from the ears. Find length through the crown of the head, a beautiful long line of chi, of energy, of magic, running from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. To close today's practice, which is we're going to bring the hands to prayer, thumbs between the eyebrows. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And on your breath out, bow low. With love, with gratitude, with Samhain blessings to ourselves, to this online coven, and from me to you, thanking you for allowing me to guide you through today's Samhain Yin Yoga practice. How are you feeling, witches? I hope that today allowed you a little time to reconnect and to embrace the darkness out around us, to embrace the season of death. I really hope you enjoyed incorporating this journal prompt with this Yin Yoga session. Sometimes it is one of the most restorative ways to kind of reconnect with ourselves. But I'd love to know how you got on, and I'd love to know if you also took part in this 30 days of yoga challenge that I have going on over on my YouTube channel at The Yogi Witch. So comment below, like this video, subscribe to my channel, please. Any kind of support is so appreciated. I can't speak, but from the bottom of my heart, witches, I thank you so much for allowing me into your yoga journey and for allowing me into this spiritual journey. I really hope that you have a beautiful day celebrating Samhain. From the bottom of my heart, witches, blessed be.